My name's Nick, I live in San Francisco, California, and I am an FAI survivor. I had FAI surgery on my right hip. It was pretty bad. I went to multiple doctors, maybe 8 or 9 different doctors, physical therapists, coaches. They all kind of said the same thing. You have to have surgery. Did physical therapy for a while to try to fix it first, nothing happened. So I went and I had the surgery. I actually did an open surgery, so my scar is like 30 staples down my leg. And they basically dislocate my leg from my body, pop out the top of the femur, reshape it, and put it back in. So yeah, it was pretty intense. I was on crutches for 3 months, and each time, every 2 weeks, I'd go in, and the test for me getting off crutches would have 2 nurses stand beside me, and he would take the crutches away, and if I started to fall, the nurses would catch me, and he would hand the crutches back to me. I fell a little bit, and he took 1 crutch away, and he said, come back in a month. And then the day that he actually took both crutches away and I didn't fall, he's like, all right, you're good to walk out of here, even though I felt every time I was gonna take a step that I was gonna fall. And that was the day too. He was like, yeah, you don't need physical therapy, just get on an exercise bike 5 minutes a day. And that didn't work out. My whole body started to fall apart. So my legs started to switch, like literally twist inward. My shoulder started to come down. I lost hot and cold sensation in this hand. I just finally realized I would have to fix this on my own. So I started doing research, and then that's when I came across Upright Health. This foot started to turn out like this. So whenever I would walk straight. It's been about a year since we did our last interview. And once I started training with Josh and Matt, things really started to get better. I'm now to the point where I'm not really in pain much and more of trying to just get stronger and stronger, and this has become more of a fun thing for me. So now I'm doing ring training, body weight training, and as I start doing that more and little aches and pains come up, so as I come in here they start to explain it to me in a way that makes sense, not too complicated. So then when I met Matt and I met other people who had the same thing and they were able to fix it without surgery, I was just like, really? I went through and had my leg pretty much dislocated from my body, and all I had to do was strengthen my hips and get my core working, and I could have been good to go. But I just didn't know any better, you know? I feel like in our society, people's bodies fall apart when they're like 50 and 60, and they're like, oh, that's just normal, and I'm just gonna sit on the couch and in 20 years I'll be dead. As I've come into Upright Health, like Matt works with people of all ages, and it's just not the case. My goal now is to live into my 80s and 90s and actually live, not be stuck in a walker or hunched over on the couch, just be able to get up and move. That's kind of my mindset of all this now, and I'm happy that it happened to me in my 20s versus in my 60s when everyone was like, oh, you're just old, deal with it. It's kind of hard to get out of the mindset of a doctor's always right. We live in this like, if a doctor says it, it has to happen, and you're the doctor, I'm not, so I am sort of bashing our generation. Like, we've gotten out of the mindset of listening to our bodies. We just sit and focus on phones and computers so much that we don't get into our own bodies and kind of figure out what's going on for ourselves. Like your best therapist is you. You can figure out this kind of stuff if you just kind of listen to your body. My like logic around this too, because a couple years after my hip surgery, my shoulders were really hurting and they wanted to do shoulder surgery because I had a tear in my shoulder. But then I thought about it. You want to cut my shoulder open and create a bigger tear to sew up a small tear to then sew up. I mean, when I actually thought about it, I was like, this makes no sense whatsoever. You have so much capacity to strengthen all that stuff around there. I know it's scary, but don't just immediately think what a doctor tells you is like, yo, you're doomed. Doctors told me that I wouldn't be able to do half the stuff I do now. Like, I do a lot of the ring training. I mean, did 15 pull-ups in a row the other day, and like 3 years ago, I couldn't even hang on a bar without my shoulders feeling like they were gonna get ripped out. So it's all on just kind of don't believe everything doctors say. And the other thing too is you have to do the work. So like my thought process is like the thinking that got you into this is not gonna get you out of this. Like, you have to get up and move. If, say, you came and saw Matt and these guys at Upright Health, they can help you a lot by showing you what to do, but if you don't go home and do the work, you're not gonna get any better. You might feel a little better coming in here when you leave, but if you don't go and do what they teach you to do, like, you're kind of gonna be stuck forever. Pain sucks, life shouldn't.